Alright, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello ma'am and friends, thank you for taking the time and willing to watch my presentation video. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Syafira with student number 21110222019. On this occasion, allow me to present an explanation of the material from the topics that have been provided. And the topic I will be using is making phone and conference call in business. This assignment is to complete my midterm exam in this course and can train me in English pronunciation and make me understand the topic I will be discussing. So enjoy!
So here is my screen share on the topic is making phone and conference call with my supporting lecturer is Mrs. Muthia Damaiyanti. Next, with the second slide is my self-introduction. I'm from 1C family, Bachelor of Applied Accounting in Politeknik State of Padang. So, the first material I will be discussed is I'm gonna talk about making a business phone calls. About making phone calls in English. Did you know? Since the advance of the telephone technology, our life has become easier because we don't have to go far to meet someone in person if we have something to say. In addition, the telephone has also helped many people to make appointments without meeting in person. Most people find it difficult to make business phone calls in a foreign language. Therefore, to make an effective phone call, you must prepare ahead. This will save you time and frustration. Remember that your voice at the end of the line will be your first impression. Thus, you need to conduct yourself professionally when making business phone calls.
So I mean that you must be remembered that it's not only important what you say, but how you say it. You must speak in a professionally and friendly manner and at an appropriate pace. Holding over this makes it worse. Just do the call and you will feel much better.
So let's get back to the slide. So in making a call to people you just know, such as customers from various regions, there are various things that you need to pay attention to in making a phone call so that your conversation can be retrieved according to the existing techniques. Things that you need to pay attention to in making a phone call. First is preparing for the business call, and the second is making the business call, and the third is things you must keep in mind when you're making a business call. First is preparing from the business call. Gather all the information and suppliers you might need for the call. The number and the full name of the person you need to speak to. Have a calendar, pen and paper at hand. Have your personal information and handphone number and address to reach you at. Second is make sure that you are in a quiet and comfortable environment. This means to turn off the television, music device, and any other distraction. Children and baby should be out of the room when you are making a business call. Third is think about what you need and to accomplish with this call. Use notes or talking points to guide you through the facts and details you want to mention. This may be your only chance to get your point across. The next point is making the business call. A business call has three main stages like introduction, middle block, and ending summary of the call. Let's talk about introduction. Introduction is introducing ourselves in English to others by using the correct sentence and expression so that other people can know us closer and better than before. Remind the person you are calling of your identity at the beginning of the call. Second is express gratitude. Always thank the potential client for allowing you a few moments in his or her busy day. Like, I want to thank you for taking my call. This will only involve a moment of your time so you can get back to your busy schedule. Next is make sure that the person you are calling is fully available to talk. If not, try to schedule an appointment for you to call back it again. Next, let's talk about a middle block. First point is state the purpose of your call. Be clear and to the point. Do not allow the conversation to go into meaningless chatter. Next is it's important to ask the other person to repeat what you are saying. In this way, you will make sure that he or she fully understands what the conversation is about. And the third one is summarize the important points of the conversation and stress each other's responsibilities. The last point is a summary of the call and the pleasantly and the caller. Thanking once again the other person for his or her time. Set an appointment for another call if it's needed, and wish him or her a good day. Then let's talk about when making a business call. Things that you must keep in your mind is first, it's important to use the right level of formality. If you're too formal, then the person might find it difficult to feel comfortable when she or he talks to you. Then again, if you are too informal, the person could think that you are rude. And the second point is important to show politeness. Always use please and thankful. Always use please and thank you or thanks very much whenever you ask for or receive help for information. Use words like would, could, may, please, and each other. Show politeness. It's alright to use more informal English such as okay, but, and no problem, as long as the overall tone of the conversation is polite. And last point is, if you call native speakers in English, you might find it difficult to understand them. Business people tend to speak very quietly on the phone, so you will probably need to slow them down.
Like immediately ask the person to speak slowly, repeat each other of information such as name or telephone number or any important data. As the person speaks, then automatically slow the speaker down. Do not say you have understood the person if you have not. Ask him or her to repeat until you have understood. Also, you can ask the speakers to rephrase it, or you can simply say like, I'm sorry, do you mean what you have understood?
So I think that's all about making a phone call. So we gotta go to the next topic is conference call. Let's see. A conference call is a telephone meeting. Participants dial in using a conference bridge number, which connects them to a common virtual meeting room that can be joined by people almost anywhere in the world. The meeting organizer may also call participants individually to add them to the conference line conferencing.
Conference call meetings instead of face-to-face meeting can be an effective time and cost-saving measure if conducted properly. Just like a traditional face-to-face meeting, proper planning and meeting management can mean the difference between a productive and well-run meeting versus an ineffective meeting with limited results. In addition to a common dial-in number, usually provided via email or calendar, the conference call organizer might also supply a bridge URL. This link can connect callers to web conferencing service, through which they may use computer audio and possibly access other types of media and collaboration tools including screen share, video chat, and instant messaging platform. Conference calls have always been important for connecting employees with each other and for helping a company reach external parties, such as its customer and business partners. However, their importance has greatly increased as more organizations have come to rely on telecommuters and mobile employees, while also expanding their geographical presence through branch office. In addition, traditional conference calls are evolving to encompass more modern features such as video conferencing, screen share, digital whiteboarding, and more.
So next, in attending a conference call meetings, there are various kinds of rules and ethics that you have to face in holding conference call meetings and being a respondent. First is prepare before the date and time of the teleconference. If you are to make sure that you remember when the teleconference will take place and put the phone number and teleconferencing pin in a place that you can easily see so that you are not busy looking around at the last time the teleconference will start. The second is make a phone call a few minutes before the teleconference starts. Make sure that you are not late for the conference room, especially if you are going to be contributing to the conversation. Don't make other participants have to wait because you are too late for the teleconference room. The third is use the mute button when you are not talking. By activating the mute feature on the phone, you will prevent the entry of sound that can disturb other participants, such as the sound of your breath and other sounds around you. The fourth is say names before speaking. Since teleconferencing participants are not in the same room and cannot see each other, the other participants must know who is speaking so they can understand what you are talking about based on the context of who you are. Even if the teleconference involves several people from different groups or divisions who have never met face-to-face before, it's a good idea to mention your group or division before starting to talk. 5 is prepare material or discussion topics. Just like attending a conventional meeting, you also have to prepare yourself around the topic of discussion or question that will be asked so that the teleconference is not disturbed due to lack of preparation. Next is keep your background noise to a minimum. Unless you have no other choice, find a quiet, loud-sounding place to have a teleconference. Because background noises such as music, the sound of children playing and running, or the sound of vehicles passing by on the road will greatly disturb the concentration of other participants, and it will be difficult for them to understand what you are talking about. Next is keep watching. At the time attending a teleconference, there will be many distractions that can steal your attention, such as the sound of incoming email, your phone ringing, and coworker asking something, and others. Do not let you don't realize if there are teleconference participants who are asking you, and don't be the one who keeps asking other participants to repeat what they are talking about just because your attention is often distracted. Next is make sure you retrieve a good title. If using a mobile phone, you must ensure that you are in a location that can receive a good signal so that your voice can be heard clearly and vice versa. In addition, to avoid disconnecting your phone and you will miss some of the conversation. 9 is follow the existing agenda. Before conducting a teleconference, there is usually an agenda to be discussed. Try to keep your focus on the set agenda. If there are things that you want to discuss further outside the agenda, then you should hold it for the next conversation. Last is appoint a moderator. In every teleconference conversation, a moderator should be assigned whose job is to ensure that all participants get the teleconference schedule and agenda to keep the conversation of all participants from getting out of the set agenda. And to make conference call productive for everyone, the following suggestions are provided for both conference call facilitators and participants. First is facilitators. As a facilitators, you should reserve the conference call system by contacting the telecommunication division of the Information Service Department at Extension. Second is communicate your expectation. You should see time of the conference call, extension number the participant should call, and how participants will introduce themselves, agenda you will be following, and last is materials the participants need. Next is as a participant. First is learn the features of your phone before the call. The 3 most important features to learn, whatever you are using a district phone or some phones, like how to activate the speakerphone, how to turn the microphone off on when using the speaker, and how to mute the handset. Second is avoid using the cell phone. Cell phone users can join a conference call if necessary, but the potential for reception issue, static, and interference make it a poor practice. Next is don't use the hold features. If starting conference call, you put your phone on hold. On hold message will begin to play. For all to hear, turn off the microphone or placing the handset on mute is the correct option if you are just listening to the conference call. Next is find a quiet location. Call it on time and set time aside for the call. All participants within one location should gather to participate in the call in order to not tie up any more lines than necessary. Avoid the urge to multitask during the call. 5 is follow the facilitator's expectation, which were sent before the conference call. 6 is keep your phone mute until the facilitator is opening the line for the question or comments. Identify yourself each time to speak, and avoid talking over the interrupting other speakers. And the last point is to maintain a professional demeanor. Some comments should not be in this public forum. You should remember that your facilitator is available to discuss issues that are private or unique to you in an individual conversation.
There is a sentence that you should be prepared before start a conference call. Like when you start a conference call and video call, there is a big process to get started. Like to make sure everyone's there and everyone's phone, video, and microphone working, you could say, is everyone on here? Adding on is especially common when you are using a computer to have video call rather than a phone call. The second is, are we all here? We can use this in a person meeting as well. And when you are testing your microphone to make sure it's working, we might say, Can't you hear me? Or could you hear me? And this word like shall we get started before starting the meeting. Second is introduce the agenda. When you are ready to start the conference call for real, you will introduce the agenda. The agenda is the plan for that meeting, so we might say something like this. The purpose of this video or conference call is to finalize our plans and the main item only, or there is an item of the agenda on your agenda is. Next is checking the understanding as the meeting process. You might want to check your understanding. We use one of these expressions. I am sorry or I apologize. And add one of these. I didn't get that or I don't follow you. Adding to this, you could say the person to say what they say to you. And the fourth is politely disagrees. As you listen to others' opinions and plans, you might disagree, but it's important to politely disagree. We can mention our position or expertise. As position, I have a couple of positions. So this means you are bringing your knowledge and expertise to make this suggestion. So it makes our opinion a little more credible and trustworthy. As a marketing manager, I have a couple suggestions. Here's an expression you'll hear in meetings and court. I'd like to raise objection. It's very formal and very serious. A more common and casual way to disagree with somebody will be to show your understanding first and then say what parts of our disagree with. Like, I understand your point. However, and a super polite way to disagree and also interrupt is by asking, could I share my opinions or thoughts? And the last is wrapping up. After we've gone through all the items on the agenda, we're ready to end the conference call. You want to wrap it up means to end the meeting. We can use that is for today. This isn't just applicable to conference call. We can use this expression at the end of the day when we're going home, or at the end of in a person meeting. It's also a good idea to check if anybody has any final question or comments. Is there any final thoughts, even if it was mandatory? So I think that's all about my presentation with the topic is making a phone and conference call in English. Thank you for your attention and sorry for all my mistakes. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.